Lakers season officially resumes this Thursday, July 30th against the Clippers. They start their 8 regular season games, and I am curious, what do you think their record is going to be in these 8 games? I'm going to go for 6-2, but let me know what you think their record is going to be after these 8 regular season games down below. Now, we've got an exciting show for you guys today. We've got to talk all of our latest Laker breaking news stories. We got some injury updates, and it is all coming up right now here on Lakers Report. What's up, Laker fam? Welcome to Lakers Report by Chat Sports, all things Lakers. I'm your host, Hannah Kulik, aka Laker Han, and we've got an awesome show for you guys today. We are going to be talking all about these first few Lakers scrimmage games. Of course, we've also got to get into some of the breaking news stories regarding our purple and gold. We've got some injuries, updates that I need to share with you guys. Before we get into all of that, you guys, the Lakers season is starting officially this Thursday, July 30th against the Clippers. That is when they begin these 8-game regular seating schedules. Now, as we all know, the Lakers have a relatively pretty tough schedule for these 8 games. So let's take a quick look at their 8-game schedule here. Of course, obviously, kicking things off, we have starting this Thursday, July 30th against the Clippers, Saturday, August 1st against the Raptors, then they go and play Monday against the Jazz, Wednesday against the Thunder, then they have a back-to-back game. They play that Thursday and they play the Rockets, then Saturday, August 8th, the Pacers, Monday, August 10th, we have the Nuggets, and then wrapping things up for their 8 games of the regular season, we have them playing Thursday, August 13th against the Sacramento Kings. So obviously, this is a relatively tough schedule, but still, I think the purple and gold are going to be able to handle business and come out on top. So like I said earlier, I'm predicting them to go 6-2 in these 8 games, but let me know down in the comments below what you guys think their record is going to be. Now, we have to get into these past scrimmage games because there's a lot to talk about, including in the latest win against the Orlando Magic. We had a few players really stand out, so I want to talk about that. But before we do, you guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Come and join this Lakers Report family and help us get to 15,000 subscribers. Obviously, with the season starting this week, there is so much to talk about, and I want to make sure that you guys do not miss a single second when it comes to our purple and gold. So do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below if you have not yet done so already. Now, moving on, the Lakers are coming off a nice win against the Orlando Magic in their second scrimmage. They beat the Magic 119-112, and one of the biggest stars there was Kyle Kuzma. He really balled out. He finally played like the Kuz we've all been waiting to see, and the Kuz that we've been hearing has been playing so well in practice. He dropped 25 points the day after turning 25, so it seems pretty fitting, but this was finally the Kuz that I've been waiting to see. He was aggressive on both ends of the court. He was confident. I liked his shot selection. He wasn't hesitating, and speaking of his shot, he was actually finally making them. He ended up shooting 10 for 13 from the field overall. He was 5 for 7 from 3. He came in and instantly knocked down his first few threes of the game, so he was on fire. And it's really great to see for us Laker fans because obviously a lot of our season and what the Lakers end up being able to accomplish, in my opinion, really rides on how well Kuz is able to play. And something that happened, previously during the season before the shutdown was that he was always kind of battling these injuries, but he was able to use quarantine and lockdown, like he said, to really get his body 100% healthy. And he said he feels amazing, he feels healthy, and he feels ready. And obviously we have heard such great things from him in practice. He's been apparently shooting lights out in practice, and in the first scrimmage game he kind of struggled a little bit, but now that he has had that great game in the second game, I'm excited and curious to see. Hopefully he'll be able to kind of continue on and just finally be that third scoring option that the purple and gold so desperately need him to be, because in my opinion, if Kuz is going to be able to play at the level that he played, or at least be able to consistently give us those 16, 18 points per night and knock down those shots, I think the Lakers are going to be extremely, extremely hard to beat. But nonetheless, Kyle Kuzma really showed that he has the potential to be that third scoring option in their 119-112 scrimmage win against the Orlando Magic. Now, moving on, another news for that Orlando game was Anthony Davis, because unfortunately, in just one quarter, he was having an amazing game. He was actually had 9 points, 10 rebounds, but unfortunately, then he got poked by the eye in the end of that first quarter, and he unfortunately did not return. Now, personally, I do not think this is anything too serious. We did see him, resume and sit kind of on the bench, and he was laughing. His eye didn't look like it was bothering him too much. I think they only didn't play him, again, for more precautionary measures. Of course, this is just a scrimmage game. No reason to risk it, but still, the timetable for his return is yet to be seen, but I would be, pretty shocked if he wasn't playing in our next game on Monday. So I don't think this is anything too serious, of course, but it was unfortunate because Anthony Davis was having such an amazing game, and he's really proved these 2 scrimmage games that he has not missed a beat for what happened with these last 4 months being in lockdown. AD has looked amazing, so hopefully nothing is too serious with that eye, and he'll be able to play Monday, and more importantly, he will be 100% ready to go Thursday in their opening night against the Clippers. Now, speaking of Anthony Davis, who here has an Anthony Davis jersey? If you do, type Y down below. If not, type N down below. I know for me personally, I do not yet have an AD jersey, but I, like all of you guys, are in luck because I am actually working with one of our sponsors here at Chat Sports, Fanatics, and we are having an awesome deal right now on some Anthony Davis jerseys. So we are offering AD jerseys for 25% off. So I'm definitely going to make sure I go ahead and take advantage of this awesome opportunity and I go get one, and I want you guys to do the same. So if you would like yourself an AD jersey for 25% off, all you have to do is go to chatsports.com/AD jersey. You guys definitely make sure to take advantage of this awesome discount because 25% off an Anthony Davis jersey, the way he is playing, you guys, people are going to start selling that jersey at crazy prices. So definitely make sure that you go ahead and get yourself one. Again, all you have to do is go to chatsports.com/AD jersey. But moving on and kind of continuing with this Anthony Davis talk, could the Lakers have found themselves a secret death lineup? Now, as we all know, a lot of us want to see AD playing more minutes at the 5. We think the Lakers are their best when AD is playing at the 5, when he's in that center, and it's no disrespect to JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard. Obviously, both of those players have been playing very well for us, but when AD is on the floor at that 5, things just really seem to click for LA, and they just really seem to dominate. Of course, we've heard AD say multiple times that he doesn't really want to play at the 5 that much. We've also heard Frank Vogel say multiple times he doesn't really say AD playing too many minutes there. However, if you were kind of diving more into this and we are taking a look at what is actually happening, we saw that actually post NBA All-Star break, AD was actually playing more minutes at the 5, and it was being extremely successful, especially when LeBron James was resting, because one of our biggest kind of Achilles heel this past season was having LeBron James have to go on the bench, obviously like he would need to throughout the game, because that was when everything just kind of fell apart. But post All-Star break, Frank Vogel kind of figured out that if he is playing AD in at that 5, LeBron can rest, and it doesn't really matter who else is in our lineup because we seem to dominate. We saw that work extremely well in that final game against the Clippers, where Anthony Davis actually played 22 minutes at that 5, and that was actually when the Lakers played their best basketball. They dominated, they outscored the Clippers no matter who was on the floor at that time. So personally for me, especially as we get into the playoffs and we get closer to the finals, hopefully the championship, I would like to see AD at that 5, and regardless of what both him and Frank Vogel are saying, I think as we see that it proves to be more successful, especially when LeBron has to sit out, I think it's going to happen. I think AD is going to play some more minutes at the 5. So a lot of people are talking about this death lineup that we could see the Lakers using with him playing that center position. So if this were the case, a lot of people are assuming then that you could assume this death lineup would be, of course, LeBron, AD, then you have Danny Green, KCP sliding in there, of course, taking over the minutes for Avery Bradley, and then Caruso, or of course, you could even argue Kyle Kuzma if he has more games like he had in that second scrimmage game against the Orlando Magic. But nonetheless, it really does seem like the Lakers have that magic death lineup, that secret recipe that'll give them the edge against any team, especially when LeBron James goes to the bench. And that is what we all know, what we are all hoping that gets to happen more as time goes on and the season continues, is that Anthony Davis plays more minutes at that 5 position. Alright, now before we move on and talk about the NBA bubble's biggest scandal, I want to make sure that you guys are following me on my social media accounts. My Instagram is at Hannah Kulik, and my Twitter is at Hannah_Kulik. Definitely make sure to give me a follow. Keep up with all things purple and gold. I'm live tweeting from every single game, so keeping you guys updated on the games if you are unable to watch them or just want to kind of see what's happening on Twitter. I'm doing live tweets every single time they play, and of course on my Instagram, as well as keeping up with all things Lakers. I also love to post workout videos and fitness tips and tricks. So if you're also looking to get into better shape, summer is here, then definitely make sure to give me a follow on there. Again, real quick, Instagram is at Hannah Kulik and my Twitter is at Hannah_Kulik. But you guys, let's talk about the latest scandal of the NBA bubble. Now, Lil Williams. As we all know, once you get to the bubble, you're not supposed to leave unless it is a family emergency or some type of an emergency. We've seen a couple of players have to leave for some emergencies, and Lil Williams appeared to be one of the other guys, as he said he had a family emergency. He had to go back to a family funeral that he had to attend, so of course he got permission to leave the bubble, and I think that's totally fine. But then there were pictures that surfaced of him Thursday night at a strip club. He was seen partying with rapper Jack Harlow. Now, of course, the pictures were quickly deleted, and of course, the two, had a bunch of stories. Jack Harlow said it was an old picture. He was just reminiscing because he missed him. Lil Williams said, he was just running in to pick up food. Of course, this strip club also is apparently Lil Williams' favorite restaurant. We all know the strip club does have some good chicken wings, but still, those pictures prove that those stories are just completely false, because for one, if this was a previous picture from a long time ago, then why the heck was Lil Williams wearing the mask that the NBA bubble handed out to all of the players? And of course, people said he was not just picking up food. He was seen, enjoying the strippers. He was at the strip club, you guys. He was not just doing a quick pickup for the wings. And even if he was, he wouldn't have even had to go pick up the food. He could have just sent a friend to go do it, or whatever it was the case. Regardless of what really happens, I don't believe anything Lil Williams is saying at the moment. I think he just deserves to kind of cop up, agree that he made a huge mistake, and just take whatever punishment the NBA decides to give him. Now, as of right now, they have announced that he is going to have to quarantine for 10 days, which means that he is going to miss the Clippers' first couple of games of the season. He's going to miss their opening game against the Lakers. But regardless of that, I believe, and I know a lot of people agree with me, but I believe that the NBA should really come down on him and really make a very serious punishment for him, because I think this was so disrespectful to not only his team, but just to the entire NBA, all of the players there, all the players who are playing by the rules. I know a lot of players are complaining that the food isn't that great in the bubble, there's all these rules, yada, 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 and I get that. I get it's frustrating, but still, I'm very appreciative that the NBA worked so hard and really thought everything through to create such a safe environment so that the season could resume. And for Lil Williams to be so selfish and just jeopardize all of that just purely because he wanted to go to the strip club and get some wings or whatever is just so disrespectful. So personally, I think the NBA deserves to really come down on him hard. If it were me personally, I would kick him out. I wouldn't even let him come in. I know that's not going to happen. Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but still, I think that there needs to be a very strict punishment for Lil Williams after his 10 days of quarantine is over. But nonetheless, that's Lil Williams and that is the Clippers. And all I can say, if anyone out there was ever doubting which team is better, the Lakers or the Clippers, I think this just proves while the Lakers are all buckled down focusing on basketball and the Clippers players are all trying to get out and go to the strip club, personally, I think obviously this just proves Lake Show all day. But if you're like me and you can't stand the Clippers, type me down below. All right, now our final story here we're going to talk about is Jason Kidd not getting the Knicks head coaching job. Now, obviously, all along, all of the rumors have been that Jason Kidd was the front runner, so a lot of people assumed he was going to be the Knicks' new head coach. But then, of course, they went and signed Tom Thibodeau to the job, and a lot of people were surprised by it because he didn't seem like he was really in the mix. It really seemed like Jason Kidd had the advantage there. But personally, for me, if I'm looking at this decision, I think it's the best thing for the Knicks and, of course, for the Lakers. I think Jason Kidd is, obviously he was an amazing player, but at the end of the day, I think he's a better assistant coach than he is head coach, and I think he's doing a great job with the Lakers. Reportedly, also, LeBron James really likes him. He didn't want him to leave. So the second I heard that, I said, okay, well, if LeBron wants him on the Lakers as the assistant head coach and doesn't want him to leave, I don't think he's going to be leaving the Lakers. So this to me wasn't too surprising, but of course to a lot of people it was because they really assumed Jason Kidd was going to be the new head coach for the New York Knicks, but they decided to go with Tom Thibodeau, which I think is actually a pretty interesting selection. But that is going to be it for today's video, you guys. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a double thumbs up. I also want to remind you guys again about our awesome deal that we are having with our sponsor here, Fanatics. 25% off an Anthony Davis jersey. That's just chatsports.com/AD jersey. So definitely make sure to go ahead and get yourself. And until next time, you guys, Laker Hand is out. Bye.